associations. LTA, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Taylor, directors, members of the public. Before I get to my prepared remarks, I just need to make some comments about the whole Jefferson presentation. I'm absolutely in shock. The Jefferson project seems to be about $5 million over budget. As Mr. Williams said, we all heard repeatedly 4 or 5 years ago that this project would not go 1 penny over budget, that it could not go over budget, that it was built into the program to come in under budget and on time. Question: how is it so over budget now? What happened? Where was the oversight? Members of the board, as Ms. Fajardo said, many of you were on the board at that time. Were you given faulty information? Were you given incorrect information? Were you given false information? Whose job was it to keep an eye on this? And what's going to happen with that? How was the early implementation of this program so flawed? I know the current administration has worked with Mr. Tao, some of the other construction lawyers to reduce the penalties, to reduce the costs, to renegotiate the contract. But how did this all start so badly? And where is the accountability going to be on this? Where is the full disclosure on this? I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen of the board, that the public be informed, that the employees of the district be informed. A couple of years ago, Mr. Jose Dominguez came around to all the schools and gave kind of a report about what was going on with the Jefferson project. I think it's time for that again. I think it's time parents and the public hear, where are we on this project? And again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. Many of the folks working on this at this point were in the district at that point. But we need to know what happened. $5 million over budget. You realize that's more than your entire special ed budget for the year. And now we're looking at solutions, including a loan that may charge $3 million in interest. That's more than an entire year of the QEIA program that's reduced our class sizes. When the teachers ask for things like smaller classes, all-day kindergarten, a planning period at the middle school, a raise for teachers and classified staff, art and music at the elementary, all of that put together doesn't cost $3 million. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, I think you owe Lennox a solution to this problem that doesn't negatively impact your employees, that doesn't negatively impact the programs we have, most of all, that doesn't negatively impact the students. You know, the first step toward that is sharing everything you can, everywhere you can on this. You know, we're in this mess. You know, we have to find a way out of it. And that's a tremendous responsibility on all of you. But you do that through transparency, you do that through involving the public, involving your employees. But we also need to look at that accountability piece. If someone did this to us, you know, whether it's a company or individuals who made false statements, they need to be held accountable for what they've done.
Yeah.
On that,
Absolutely.
prepared statement. The school year has started very well. A few weeks ago, we had 3 days of professional development. They were very well attended by the teachers. They were very well put together by instructional services. Very positive. At the middle school, we're starting to see some of the changes that you all approved in the LCAP, changes in the way security are working, changes in some of the structures in the middle school. At the elementaries, the PE team finally bringing physical education by trained physical education teachers to the elementary school is starting to happen. The intervention teachers will soon be taking their place and working with our most struggling students at the elementary, so all that is very exciting. Mr. Franklin, Mr. Taylor, everybody involved, I want to thank you for the recent changes with the health benefits. As I said in the email that I sent out to everybody in the district, it's great to see the district investing in the health and welfare of its employees. Thank you very much for that. You've got an item a little bit later on the agenda about hiring translators, teachers to translate some of the curriculum. The DL program has always, teachers have always put in a lot of time translating their materials. You know, they're very committed to the program and the students, so they've always done that. But as the program continues to grow, as it moves to the middle school, as Common Core demands new materials that just aren't available in Spanish yet, I applaud the district for taking that step forward and recognizing that it's okay to expect teachers to translate a note to their parents, or you know, a little bit of curriculum, some homework assignments and things like that. But when you're talking about wholesale translation of materials, you really have to recognize that that's extra work. So thank you much to the district on that. Finally, we resume bargaining next week. Our team will be led by Ms. Lisa Rubio, who you've all met before. The district kind of hired away our former bargaining chair, Mr. Marquez. But Ms. Rubio is ready and able to fill that. She's been on the bargaining team for several years and is very experienced. We feel we've made some very good progress in the last couple of meetings. We kind of took a break for summer, but the team is very excited about the proposals we have. But we do need the district and the board to remember the teachers are working harder than ever, and it's been 7 years since we've seen any kind of a raise. 7 years since we've seen any kind of an increase in our salary. It's not the only thing we're focusing on. There's a number of other kind of changes that we think will benefit teachers and students that we're looking for. But as surrounding districts begin to close their contracts, I hope that the district can help us come to a fair and honorable solution as soon as possible on the contract. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we move on with CSCA, please. CSCA. Superintendent.
I want to echo again what Brian had mentioned. Great first day of opening school. So I went to all the school sites, and as well as district administration and several of the board members were out at the sites, and just great opening. Lots of excitement from students returning back from the break. Parents were excited about it. Teachers and staff. Very smooth opening. So I just want to commend all of the staff and everyone involved in the process. So that went really well. Also want to mention that the back to school night for the elementary is September 18th. So put that on your schedule, and then the middle school, they're going to be scheduling that. I'll get that to you. Another exciting event that we had backpacks that were actually donated by Boeing. Their employees gave me a phone call and said that they wanted to donate to our school district, and that we were nearby to them. And so Director Eddie Garcia, he put that in motion. You want to talk about the process and what occurred in terms of handing out the backpacks?
Yeah. So Boeing, what was really nice is I didn't expect that many backpacks. They had initially about 125 backpacks. And it's not only backpacks, there's backpacks, and it has school supplies and materials inside. And so all of the employees, well, not all of them, they had about 800 employees that participated, and employees went and bought the backpacks, and then they bought the materials and put it in. What was kind of nice is all the backpacks are different. So you could see the different personalities of even the staff members, so that was kind of nice. And so this whole room was filled, as well as one of the conference rooms, and counselors, which they were on vacation, but some were emailing me, the families that really would benefit from this, and we invited them to come in. And honestly, that was a really busy week, so I wouldn't take full credit for it. I have absolutely amazing office lead staff, Virginia Gonzalez and Jeanette Alvarez, and they really helped move everything along with the counselors with the information that we needed. So we were able to distribute, it was like 100, I forgot what number I emailed, backpacks, but we gave out about 300 backpacks to kids. So 300 kids are ready for school.
Thank you for doing that. And then what we're going to try to do is get them to come to a subsequent board meeting so that we can honor them. It's one thing that we care for our kids, but when another organization comes and does and gives, that impacts us. We know that there's a greater community out there that are interested in the success of our kids, and so that's what that's all about. Also, when we go into closed session, again, we have the math pilots. Please take a look at those. The expository course that I talked about, the 7th and 8th grade, they're right there at the corner. Please take a look at that in terms of what's going on there. Also, too, there's another professional development for the Board of Education, which is the Master of Governance class. As soon as I find it here, I'll pass it out to you. Here it is. And so the Master of Governance class is a wonderful program in terms of looking at the areas of the Board of Education, the finances, the curriculum, the accountability, the governance, and our President Navarro has already completed that. But it's another tool that will enable the Board of Education to work together. I know that Ms. Farhado has almost completed some classes and so forth. But let us know that if you're interested in completing those. You don't have to take them in a specific order, but certainly it would be something that I would encourage the Board of Education as we have a governance team together.
Yeah, so pitching reference on that one?
Yeah.
I mean, before there used to be full day modules, so now they're only half day modules, so shouldn't take that long. And some modules, you could take them twice in one day. So typically it would take a regular board member take 2 years, so now it takes less than 1 year.
That's it for me, thanks.
Perfect. Okay. Take a 2-minute break at 7:45. What? 7:47.